Welcome to the episode 11 Reality Podcast. I am your host, Ricky Valero. On today's episode, I'm going to kick off my coverage for the brand new singing competition show over on CBS called The Road. It follows 12 emerging musicians as they compete to be Keith Urban's opening act on tour across America. The series comes from executive producers Blake Shelton and Taylor Sheridan, and the winners are going to compete not only to win the show, but they're going to get a grand cash prize of $250,000, a recording contract, and a slot on the iconic main stage at Stagecoach in 2026. The show kicked off Sunday, October 19th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be available to stream on Paramount Plus. Now, folks, the first episode was quite a exhilarating ride for me. I felt like this was such a nice little foray into this world, which the first episode followed our 12 emerging musicians as they take the stage as opening acts for the Grammy Award winner, Keith Urban, in Tannehill Music Hall in Fort Worth, Texas. As each musician performs, Keith and Blake Shelton watch closely to see how they connect with the crowd. Gretchen Wilson, who is going to be the tour manager, shares her first words of support, offering viewers a raw behind-the-scenes look at life on the road, before and after the spotlight hits. As for the night unfolds, the live audience will cast their votes on one musician will be sent home, while the remaining 11 will earn a coveted seat on the tour bus and begin a thrilling 10-week ride through the highs and lows of touring, where one ultimate winner will win the grand prize. Who are the contestants on the road? We have Adam Sanders, Billy Joe Jones, Blaine Bailey, Brianna Adams, Brittany Kellogg, Cassidy Daniels, Channing Wilson, Cody Hibbard, Forrest McCurran, Jenny Tolman, John Wood, and Olivia Harms. So here's what went down in the first episode. Each singer had to play an original song in front of this live audience with the crowd voting on who they like. After the crowd voting, there will be a bottom three where Keith and Blake will decide who goes home. So, in all 12 performances here was my highlights. I think Adam Sanders, to me, kicked off the show with a bang. I just really, really loved Adam's performance here, followed by Brittany. I just love her emotional performance because it showcased her voice, but then also showed this emotional side of her being a mom who's chasing her dream. Cody and Jenny, I was really kind of underwhelmed by this performance, I think, by both of their performances. I didn't love either one of them. I didn't feel like they connected with the audience either. Forrest, this was okay. I think he's a likable guy, but to me, this doesn't feel like it was his environment. And I feel like there's another performance like that as well, which I didn't feel like it was his fault. In Blaine, I felt like Blaine has the chance of being a star, and maybe just Keith Urban's audience is not his jam, not his cup of tea. And then I think because of that, that's why Blaine kind of struggled in his performance. Billy Joe shocked the hell out of me because she wasn't feeling good. And like in her warm-ups, you could see her voice was like raspy. She just wasn't feeling good. And then somehow managed to go out there and just absolutely slay. Like, it was insane. Her voice was just magical. Like, I was just so impressed with this performance because, again, sick, not feeling good, pressure, all of those things cooked together, and still went out there and knocked it out of the ballpark. Brianna, I wasn't a big fan of this one either. I didn't feel like this was such a good performance. I feel like some of these people suffered from, like, going on after a banger of a performance. You know, Adam was strong, Brittany was strong, and then Cody was meh, Jenny was meh, Forrest was okay, Billy Joe killed it, and then Brianna had to go out. And then Channing, this dude is like country music. Like, this guy is the perfect person for like country music, right? He has this old crispy country sound that would have probably been like a jam-packed in the early mid 80s, early 90s. He's got like a Waylon Jennings type of old twang to him, and I felt like he just fits the show perfectly. Blaine, I already mentioned him. Olivia and John, I don't know. I just really didn't feel their performances. I wasn't invested in what we saw from those two. And then the final performance of the show was Cassidy. Might have the best voice in the entire show. Like, holy freaking moly. Like, when her performance was over, you saw Keith and Blake stand up for like a standing ovation with the crowd just erupting. You almost wanted to like get up and give a standing ovation at home. You know what I mean? All right. So each week I'm going to talk about my 3 favorite performances. My 3 favorite performances this week were Adam Sanders, Billy Joe Jones, and Cassidy Daniels. I just felt like these 3 really knocked it out of the ballpark. For Adam, just kicked off the show strong with a strong performance, interactive with the audience. Huge fan. Billy Joe on that side of things, she was not feeling good at all and just went out there and knocked it out of the ballpark. That's what performers do week in and week out. And then, of course, Cassidy Daniels closed out the show. And like I said, I believe she has the best voice on this show. And the standing ovation from Keith and Blake and the crowd's reaction to it really, really showed. So the top 3 picks from the audience this week were Adam, Cassidy, and Cody. Cody once, I was underwhelmed by Cody apparently, but the audiences were not. But the bottom 3 were Olivia, Forrest, and Blaine. And again, all of these performances, I felt the same way, right? I felt bad for Blaine, who ends up getting sent home, because I just felt like he was put in a bad environment, right? But because he didn't connect with the audience, I could understand why Keith and Blake sent him home, right? Now, the remaining 11 contestants are going to hop on Keith Urban's tour bus and head on tour. Overall, I think one of the biggest things I loved about the first episode is we really got an insight to see who these people are. So before they just throw them on the bus, we got background in each of the individuals. We got to see them all perform their songs. We got to get a real strong vibe for what's ahead on the show without having to like go in depth. It was a little bit long of an episode, but I really enjoyed the element of being able to understand who each one of these individuals and performers is. So when we set on this tour now, we've got a vibe. We have the people we like, and we can follow that journey across the board. This really stood out to me in a world of your typical music competition shows. And I really feel like this is something that could go beyond country music. If we get another second or third season, you could take this across the road in all genres. I'm excited to follow the show. I'm excited to talk about it each and every week because, again, I love freshness. I love newness in the world of reality TV. We've seen a lot of seasons of The Voice. We've seen a lot of seasons of like American Idol and all of those other, America's Got Talent, all those other shows. This is fresh. This is unique. I'm really excited to see like the behind the scenes aspect of the tour on like a live tour, following these people and the pressures of performing in these huge crowds. Keith Urban's a big act. So going up there on that stage and performing in front of massive audiences, probably bigger audiences than maybe they've ever performed before. But the CBS The Road is going to air Sundays, 9 p.m. Eastern time. You don't want to miss it. If you caught the episode, who was your favorite performances? Who did you like? Let me know in the comments below, and we'll be back next week to break down the next episode.